What is up, YouTube viewers? Well, I'm getting pretty close to going to bed. Done some work on my paintings tonight. Figured I wanted to go through here and just kind of make sure they're all sitting good so they can sit for a good long time and dry. I've only got a few more to do, and I'll have this big batch pretty much done, except for maybe some touch-up work. Here, let me show you. Now these little canvas boards that I've been using here, I'm going to show you a bunch of them. I bought myself an 8x10 frame. Alright, this is just a really cheap one. They pop in through the front. And I just wanted to show it does fit. And it pops right in there. Just take the glass out. Now, when I go to display these for, presentation makes a difference. I'll definitely use a better frame than this. But this does work for my educational purpose. Yep. Just put it right in there. And you got a framed painting. So that's one thing I like about these boards, is you don't have to go out and get a special frame like you need for the frame wrapped canvas, the canvas wrapped frames. So, if you follow me. So, if you don't, there are canvases that is a frame of wood, and there's canvas wrapped around board. Some people paint right on board. I personally like the way the canvas is. It has its own texture that's different than wood, so I like it. Some of these, maybe some of you have seen. Maybe some of you have seen them earlier. But here's one of my crosses. Just want to put them in here, my little drying rack, nice and safely. Some of these are still very wet. I think I've shown these first two. I like them. They are nice crosses. Okay. Next one. Be careful getting it out. There we go. Z. Michigan painting. You see, it's got texture from palette knife work. Yeah, I think that turned out pretty good. And nice and safe. That board's got a bend to it. And I got this one. I think that's nice and tasteful. Yep. That's one of those that you might have seen, but has been changed. Has been worked on since then. And that'll sit okay. Let's see what I got here. This is just a plain background. I'll put this at the back a lot. That obviously needs some more work. This is one I did from my bestie, and it is complete. And it's even signed. See, I put my little J at the bottom. I used to put my first name, but I changed that. Yeah, this is drying okay. Ooh. This is messy. This is abstract. Abstract art. Yeah, fun with a palette knife. That's what that is. Slide this in here. Nice and safe. Oh, little space. Come on now. There we go. I gotta wipe my hands. That one is sloppy. That's gonna take a long time to dry. But I won't. It's done. Just needs to dry and be varnished. Maybe a touch up or two from where it's set and dried and where I touch it. But I like it. I liked the way it turned out. Same with this one. I really like this one. This is one I used a photo of my oldest son and did this painting for him. You see it's very textured. Lots of texture. Yeah. And abstract. And of course it'll dry for a good long time, and I'll touch it up around the edges where it needs it. And then varnish. The varnish is what really protects this paint. Protect it from dust and everything else. Alright, the next one looks to be just a background. So I'll set this off to the side to be worked on as well. That's what it looks like. It's one of my backgrounds. Never know what it'll get. Could be a cross, could be a pile of turds. Hard to say. Because this is one of my backgrounds too. Ooh. Come on now. Carefully. Yeah. This is one of my backgrounds that I had painted on. See? So I take the background, I painted a couple of flowers. Nice, huh? And that'll sit to dry. Something in the paint. Another background. Set that in here. So that needs more work. Anything that's just a background gets more work. So I'm not doing I don't want to do just abstract backgrounds. Not on these. I want them to have more appeal, so I want them to have more to them. Show you what I'm getting at. You already seen the flowers. I like doing the crosses, but my bestie says, don't just do crosses. So I get into other stuff. See, one of my backgrounds with a seagull. Now that's tight and complete. It's just gotta dry. I just did that one today, by the way, along with this one. I finished today. And today I did the bottom half, which is all palette knife. It's all palette knife. Yep. So. And that's done and needs to dry. Okay. Got paint on my fingers. Where to put? There it is. So that last one, I finished that today. as well as this one I also finished today. Another background. It's an autumn scene, if you can't tell. It's the wind blowing the leaves off the trees. Or off the tree. Alright, here's another one that was a background. I added a cross to it today. I think that's very nice. And I've got one more to show you. This was done this evening as well on a background. I painted a duck. See, got the mallard duck. So, I think that's a pretty good idea. And I'm very thankful that my bestie tells me what she thinks. Because a lot of people just tell me, yeah, that's nice, that's nice, that's nice. And I appreciate compliments. I don't need them, but I appreciate them all the same. But my bestie tells me what she thinks. And I appreciated that. And as you can see, doing more than just crosses is definitely rewarding. I'll tell you, doing the seagull and the mallard, that was pretty rewarding to paint that and have it turn out as well as they did, especially to paint something like that over top of a near finished product. That's somewhat, keep you on edge, like, hey, I can't be messing this up. I gotta do a good job here. But really, I'll tell you, listen here closely. If you're interested in art at all, here's my opinion. Art is art. Alright? And if you want to make art that looks like, maybe if you want to paint something that looks real, you can start judging yourself on your skill. But art should be a thing of joy and expression, and it really shouldn't matter what something looks like. That's my opinion. It's kind of talking out my ass a little bit, I guess, because like all artists, I worry about the quality of my art. And some of the things that I don't like, people absolutely love. And vice versa. Some of the things that I think is awesome and I love, other people don't like. So, I mean, for me, art, anybody who wants to do it should do it for the joy of doing it and not be worrying about the outcome. We worry too much about outcomes in life anyway. Worry about outcomes that have already happened and outcomes that might happen or even might not happen. And worrying about that stuff takes joy out of life. Definitely takes the joy out of doing art. So I know when I'm stressing over how my stuff's looking, it tends to look just like I think it's gonna. It tends to look like shit. So the more joy I put into something, the better it looks and the more people like it. So I guess that's my opinion and my advice. Whatever you do, enjoy it. Yep. And if you aren't enjoying it, well, I think twice about doing it. Yep. And I don't like when people put my artwork up against theirs, whether theirs is better or worse than mine. Because better or worse is a matter of opinion when it comes to art. Yep. So I try to explain that to my son. He complains about his drawings and the quality of his drawings. And it don't even matter. You draw the way you draw, and you keep on doing it, and do it because you enjoy it. Anyway, that's stuff I know you probably haven't seen. You probably got to see some of that for the first time. I've got a few more sitting here. They're going to need some work on them too. I'm trying to get all these boards done so this whole set of boards can sit and dry. Or at least a bunch of them. So they're going to need to sit for a couple months. Yep. It takes that long for oil to dry properly that I can actually put varnish on it. Could take up to a year, but I think I'll be okay. A couple months. Yep. Well, maybe even wait a little longer, but at least a couple months. Got to. Or you ruin it. Yep. Anyway, that's my show and tell for the night. And I hope you all have a great time. Do something makes you happy. Alright? Peace.